0730 means 0730, cadet. Sit down.
More like 07 Hurdy.
She's
Come
rude.
on.
She's rude.
Starfleet Academy, what you gonna do?
Yeah, true. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Play Retro. This is Play Retro. We talk about old video games on the weekly. My name is Scott Johnson. I'm one of your hosts, and my previous timeline dad is kind of a weenie. Hey, check out that girl with the head port. I wonder if it gets linty in there.
Oh.
I wrote this really late, and I'm afraid to read the rest because I forgot what I said. Anyway, what do you think it will take to get John de Lancie to wear a full Borg costume and walk around with one eye only? Also, why does the captain sound like a New Jersey City comptroller? Resistance is fertile.
It's fertile. And I'm your other host, Brian Dunaway. And if this god being named Q, it's short for Q, is to be believed, then this first-person interactive movie set in the Star Trek universe will lead me to saving my dear old pops from the evil cube beings in space. Well, I can't do it, Captain. Beam me up. Do not engage this game. It has no honor. Now, excuse me while I go into a vagina pain trance.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Vagina.
It's vagina?
Vagina.
Yeah, there's a race of alien in this thing called the Vagini or Vagini or something like that.
Yeah, you play as the vagina. It's the vagina.
Yeah, and, you're a vagina.
Yeah, it comes into play. It's terrible. And they say it like 100. They say it 100 times too.
Yeah. It's one of the first things I asked Brian. I'm like, "Did you hear what I heard?"
Did you hear the thing that my immature mind also heard? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're all permanently 12. What do they expect?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what some consider to be the lost and missing or other Star Trek movie that wasn't in theaters.
Yeah.
And some people really do. They see this as like important canon. They see it as, especially the enhanced version, they see it as something they can actually sit and watch on their 4K TV and have it look good. I mean, I have a lot to say about whether it's film quality, but I can say I think it's the perfect game to end our FMV February, our full motion February with. It's perfect for that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is it the height of the FMV fever we were running with during that time period, and it's kind of a perfect cap.
For sure.
FMV.
I couldn't have thought of anything better, honestly. It's just perfect for where FMV was going to be at its peak. Mm-hmm. And this was kind of it. Like, we're at the peak of this. This game is kind of where we kind of stopped. I mean, there have been things since, not that they don't exist, but this gold rush to make FMV games kind of ended right around 96, 97, 98. Like, that's where it all kind of petered out. So I think it went out strong with this. Yeah, I think this is a great one. So
I think we started with FMV as a way to kind of bypass some of the graphics requirements, because it's much easier just to compress a video, film something on set. That's much less expensive. It's a little more linear. There's a lot of limitations. But by the time we got to Star Trek Borg in 1996, we were really trying to finally fully realize what some people thought of where FMV should be going, which is just to be an interactive movie. Shut up, sit down, watch the movie, make some quick time choices. Mm-hmm. Do it.
Yeah, that's what people thought games were turning into. That was the future. Yeah. We'll talk more about it in a minute. Before we do that, what we got up to in our retro lives over the weekend, or week, since we were last year. I want to talk a little bit about, the brilliance of, we were in the car for a minute, the brilliance of UFO 50. If you are not familiar with what UFO 50 is, it is the Spelunky people a couple of years ago put out this game, and I say game, but actually it's 50 games, hence the 50.
Hence the name, right.
And the UFO is like a fake console in the 8-bit era. And there's even like weird story about when things were released. Some games are sequels to ones in the collection that supposedly came later in the year. But basically what these are a collection. Imagine if somebody took one of these game jams that these devs all get together and do over weekends. And then kept the best stuff and then made a collection out of it. That's essentially what they did. It was a 6-year project. And every kind of game type you can think of, Metroidvanias, platformers, shmups, dungeon crawlers,
I saw a GTA
racing games, GTA-ish, kind of sure, physics stuff, like things that wouldn't even been possible back then, but they're presented in such a way that it feels like an ancient game, and you very quickly, these are all unlocked immediately, so you can just go play what you want and do it whatever order you want. And then there's a bunch of achievements, there's a bunch of level tracking online, there's all this stuff if you want to compete with other people. There are games that are more long form, that are games that are more short and quick. They kind of categorize all that with you in the right up front in the game, and I just can't say enough about it. And I decided the reason this is coming up is I cracked it open again and went, it's been a while, let's get in here, let's play a few of these. Man, there's so many bangers in here, and I'm not going to say every game is going to appeal to every single person, but there really isn't a bummer in here. They're all really good. It just depends on kind of your genre preferences. You might find something that you'd prefer to play more than something else, but there's just huge selection, crazy numbers of stuff, and it's currently, it's not on sale, but it's $24.99 on Steam. It's also available on Switch, PlayStation. I don't think Xbox ever got it.
That's like 50 cents a game.
I don't think. I should find out. Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously cheap for what you get. And look at these reviews. I mean, 95% recent, 95% overall, overwhelmingly positively reviewed. Like, how do you do better than that? I cannot recommend this enough. And if you have a Steam Deck, this is stupid not to have. If you don't have this, you're dumb. You're literally dumb.
Oh, no. I don't have it on my Steam. I'll be right back.
It's so good, dude. It really inspires me. So I know this is not a retro game. It was made just 2 years ago, but it is a game that loves retro and is very faithful in poking at your retro love. So go check it out.
I do like it when they poke at my retro love.
Mm-hmm.
Poke it.
Poke it, baby. What'd you get up to this week?
Oh, hi, Scott. I talked a few weeks ago about the Atari 800 that was donated to us. Fastidious was kind enough to do that, and I worked on it, and I baked the Pokey chip, and I finally got it on my desk and got to play some stuff. I got to load up some of the floppy disk, and I was not able to do everything I wanted because some of the floppy disk, are a little old and a little bit decrepit, and I have cassette tapes. Some of them work, some of them don't. So I needed a better way to feed information into this. And so everybody's been saying, you got to get a FujiNet. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I went and looked to see if I could get one. It's like, yeah, we'll get you one in about 6 months.
What the hell's a FujiNet? Tell me about that.
It's a FujiNet. So there's an interface. Mm-hmm. SIO is the interface. I believe that's correct because that's what I keep calling it. But I couldn't find one of those. The connector, I believe, is called the SIO or some kind of serial input output. I'm sure that's what it stands for. But I couldn't find one of those, and they're like about $60 or so. And there was a couple of suggestions on building your own kind of things with some Arduinos and things, or you could order those. Once again, I was also looking at taking time for it to get here, but instead I found this. This is just an SIO to PC. And all it does is just hooks up into your little USB micro, I believe, and that plugs into your PC, and there's some open source software. And I just feed this bad boy from my computer. So I download Atari files, not the cartridge files simply, but the like the floppies and the cassette images. I can load any of those up into a virtual drive on my PC, plug it in here, plug this into the chain. This is what's really important about this. This one lets you plug in. So you these are serial connectors, so you can plug each device in. So I've got a floppy drive here.
You can chain them, right?
Here.
Essentially.
You can chain these bad boys, yeah. So I can add this to the final chain, and I can then set it to whatever drive I want it to be, like the first drive or the last drive, and I can switch my real drive. So it works just like a real drive. $12. It came in like 2 days.
Nerd.
And I was like, nerd. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing that because the other ones are a little more expensive, going to take a little longer time to get here. And I'll probably end up building some. We have some people in our communities, on Discord communities, been helping with that. And it's important because, like I told you before, I'm looking forward to designing some 8-bit games. And I was almost 100% convinced I was going to definitely, absolutely do all of it on my Commodore 64 Ultimate. I've been having a lot of fun with this Atari.
I bet you still do, though. I bet you go to bet you end up doing it on the Commodore. I bet you.
I got to go back to the Commodore. It's where I grew up. It's what I know. But it's been so much darn fun learning, how the Atari stuff works. I mean, I was a Tramiel guy growing up. I was like, give me the Commodore 64, you business machines. Give me that inexpensive a Commodore 64 in there, baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sorry, wrong screen. That's what the screen looks like. But I was like, but then I'm like, I didn't really follow too much on the Atari home computer scene. And like, man, these guys were having fun. All right. These guys were having a lot of fun over here on the Atari. 'Cause I've been on the Atari forums and stuff, but mostly only in the areas that relate to like the Atari 2600 and the consoles and stuff. I didn't really look at the PC stuff, but man, you guys are having fun.
Where'd you end up getting it? I'm seeing a few sources on it. It's a little bit more, but this thing.
I got it on it was just on eBay.
Oh, okay.
I just went to eBay. That looks nicer than the one I got, but I just got it off eBay because I always do the same thing I do on eBay, which is just what's within 100 miles of me. And so there were some people. It was the people in North Carolina, and I was like,
I didn't know you could do that. You can just choose your. It's still delivered. It's still mailed to you, though, right?
Yeah. I just prefer the closer you are to me. Because shipping is going to be less too, because a lot of times it's auto-calculated.
That's true.
So I just, even though lots of times most of the stuff I'm purchasing seems to come from California, which it couldn't be further away from me, practically. But I usually try to get stuff out of Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. Jersey's really fast. We've got a fast pipeline coming down from Jersey, and they got a lot of stuff as well. So yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Look at you getting up to some serious nerd business. I played a game from 2 years ago. You're going bananas over there.
I'm going bananas. But yeah, like that 50 thing that, that's what I'm looking at, like looking some old retro gaming. Just because
How cool would that
12.
Be? Yeah.
I was 12 the last time I thought, you know what I'm going to be when I grow up? I'm going to program video games for the Commodore 64.
Yep. Because you figured that would be the platform forever and never change.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
That's what kids do. Here's what I can promise people. If Brian does end up making executable little game of some sort,
yes,
you will let everybody have that ROM image, whatever it is, as soon as it's done, right? We're going to spread it around.
Absolutely. We'll spread it around, and we'll make it available for emulation, because I know not everybody's gotten like whatever hardware we decide to go with. So and don't get too excited. It's not going to be anything too complicated. No. All right, this is just my first year, my first attempt at this, and it's going to probably take the whole year, and it's going to be it's probably a proof of concept more than anything. So
I love it. Look. I love it. I support it 100%. We'll give it to what, our patrons will get it like a 2 weeks early, and then everybody else can have it like leftover meat. Okay.
Yeah. Pac-Man.
We got to monetize things before AI takes over. I'm telling you.
That's right. We got to do it fast.
Hurry up, everybody. All right. Well, let's get to the Borg. It's time for us to talk about our stuff.
Let's get assimilated.
Let's get it. Everybody get in. If your resistance is futile, as I've been told, so it's time.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, Star Trek Borg, 1996, Simon & Schuster Interactive, which I do not believe still exists as a game publisher. Simon & Schuster got out of that business, I believe.
Well, yeah, they're primarily book people, right? Isn't that what they're...
That was what they're famous for. This was their attempt to get in deep. And they had other stuff, and they had some educational stuff and all that. It's just, I think I don't know. They thought they had a future in game publishing, and it didn't really work out. So.
I think they did. A lot of people have tried this, but I think the main in was they were also making audiobooks at the time as well. Mm-hmm. So I think some of these things were converted over to that. So they're probably thinking that kind of works in with the distribution they're wanting to do.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Now, for those in the live chat or the live video, or you're watching video later, you're going to see some of this, and you're going to see the differences between the original, which is what this is, what we're looking at right now. Pretty, looks like your TV, lots of scan lines. They basically, it was a way of having more info, well, a larger video on screen, but you're actually cutting lines out so that your hardware can handle it and push that video. We don't have that problem today, but back then they kind of did. The up-resed version of it in the enhanced edition of the game looks a lot better or worse, depending on your point of view. There's some things about it that are a little plasticky, if I'm honest. Let's see if I can get some of that.
Yeah. So there was a remaster version that was released, unofficial remastered version, where a fan went in, got a Japanese DVD copy. We all had CD copies here in the U.S. and in most markets. I think only Japan got a DVD version later on as a re-release, I believe.
Yeah.
And so they had some nicer film, and it was all film, right? I mean, not film. Sorry, it was all tape. I
Yeah.
think all of TNG and everything was tape, right?
Pretty
I don't
sure it
think
was. That may
did they
not
do any
be
film?
true.
All right, I'm not sure about.
I
it.
think
Anyway.
it was filmed because when they did the remastered or the whatever you call it with the original TNG,
Right.
they used the film's aspect ratio instead of the 4:3. And I
Gotcha.
think it's because they did film. So,
Right.
But this thing, I don't even know. Like, there's parts of it where I'm like, this is filmed like a soap opera, and then there are parts where I'm like, this looks like a regular episode of Star Trek. It's pretty good. So it really depended on the scene, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the dude that directed this, directed by James L. Conway, he directed multiple Star Trek series episodes in Voyager, TNG, Deep Space Nine. Like, it's not like he's got the chops for floating around the Enterprise bridge and talking to dudes. So, that shows up here. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, and I did a little trivia. Jim Conway was in competition with Jonathan Frakes to do Star Trek to direct Star Trek First Contact.
Oh, that's right. And Frakes ended up doing it.
Yeah,
And First Contact ended up being awesome. Also, funny little story. They were filming First Contact at the same time
yes,
as this, and they filmed this using sets from Voyager.
yeah.
I think was the deal. These are some of these are Voyager sets, not the bridge. It's all been tweaked, but a bunch of stuff is in the Voyager sets, which was winding up production, I think, or something like that. I can't remember what the deal is, but
there's
literally
a lot of
two Trek things happening at once, right? The movie.
If
and
you're
this.
Trek, if you're a somewhat Trek fan, you're gonna love this because it seems so authentic. This happens during the Locutus of Borg time. Well, actually, it initially starts out as 10 years after Wolf 359, where the Borg where you first encounter the Borg.
Yeah, a bunch of ships were lost. It was a bad war.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, but if you're too much of a Star Trek fan, you'll notice all the wrong. It's like that uniform doesn't go with that communicator. That that location's not right, because they had access to all the available sets and costumes, but not all the actors. They only got de Lancie, Q. So John de Lancie makes not only a huge, just the most important piece is him and his character.
He goes all in too. He's not messing around.
Yeah.
Like, he's not half-assing this. You never once get the feeling he's like going all in.
He is full queuing it up, and it's really cool because some people say this is not really a video game because there's only you don't really get deep into any game mechanics. It's more like, here, watch a thing and then make a couple of on-screen selections and it'll forward the story. But it is a first-person perspective. You only see is your hand, right?
Yeah.
The character you're playing as, and that's kind of freaking awesome, having Q guide you through this and just berate you because you don't know what you're doing, because you are being tasked with doing Star Trek things in world that you probably have sit around and said, yeah, I know what to do. But then when they show you like they show you like a board, you're like, I don't know how to manipulate that board. What am I?
Yeah.
A trainee? Get out of here.
And some of it's real simple stuff. Like, here's an example where you're just like, you got to put these little plugs in the right order.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's a little bit of logic puzzle to it, but for the most part, you could just wing it and try 4 or 5 different configurations and you would probably get it.
Yeah.
None of them are too complicated. And I think that's actually good because it keeps shit moving. You just keep moving. And I think that's important for a story like this. I did the math. It's about 54 minutes, give or take 30 seconds of full motion video story content. So I think you could beat this game in like an hour and 20 minutes, probably.
I think the official, I think written on the box is actually, and then one of the reasons why this may differ from your experience is because this game wants you to fail. Most of the content is failing. You will fail way more than you will succeed. But luckily, Q is there to guide you. And if you die or make a huge mistake and have the whole ship blow up, he will restore everything. But I think there's like 120 minutes worth of actual footage you could potentially see.
Oh, right. But in a normal playthrough.
But a normal playthrough, no. And you could play through the whole thing. I mean, speed runs are probably like 10 minutes or something. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you know exactly what to click on, it's just so fast.
Yeah, you could, and you can skip through video. I wouldn't do that either. Yeah. The point of it is watch the video. But yeah, I rewatched the whole entirety of the story because I wasn't going to finish it before the show. Did it on stream, and I watched 54 straight minutes, and I did the enhanced edition so it was watchable.
Yeah.
And it was, I have to say, I had a really good time. I got one beef though, and it's the same beef I would have had in 96 had I played this then, that I would have today. And it's this, like you mentioned, the first person perspective and Q kind of leading you around, telling you what not to do and what to do and tricking you into doing shit you shouldn't do and all that.
Being a Q.
Just being Q. Yeah. I like that to a point. The problem I have is you are turned into a silent protagonist. So Q's always talking to you. Dipshit over here on the seats talking to you in regular office chairs, by the way. It's really stupid. And they're constantly talking to you in like you're Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, meaning you don't have
agency.
You never reply to anybody. So they'll go, the captain will go, you understand me, boy? And you're my rules, and this ship is my ship, and you just don't say anything. Like, it's just weird never to hear you say anything. So I'm not saying they should have. I think silent protagonists can work in games. I just don't know if one where it's full motion video of everybody and a story or a setting that we're all familiar with, and you're not able to talk at all is weird.
Yeah, you're a mute. Yeah, it is weird, but it's a struggle we've had since the beginning of video games, right? Do you give the character you're playing a voice, because that, especially if it's first person, because that breaks the illusion that you're actually playing it because you're not saying the words. Mm-hmm. So it's a tough call, but I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah. But where it really shines though is I didn't even really notice that I wasn't talking because I was so engrossed with the super simple story of trying to say. So the story is Q shows up 10 years after Wolf 359, where your father died on a ship.
This guy, if you're watching live, this guy on the right is the dad.
Yeah, he's the dad. And he died. And Q says, for whatever reason, he showed up and he's decided to give you the opportunity to go back and change your fortunes, because that's what Q does. He F's with you. Yeah. So you jump back in time, and you're on the ship that your dad's on, and you embody the security officer who was killed earlier that day. If you jump in where the bad stuff happens, right? And so you're kind of pulled along with this story of getting to know your crewmates. And I think they do a really good job of weaving the story of pulling you in to make you feel. I mean, they're just doing it in a freaking 54 minutes or less, and most of the dialogue is coming from Q. Yeah, and so it's a pretty heavy lift. Yeah, and it works okay.
Acting's a little uneven from everyone else, but Q can be counted on. I think the girl's fine. What's her name? Not Jagger.
Jagger.
Jaeger, whatever her name is.
No, she's a bag.
Hold on.
She's a bag you would carry your laptop in around. She's a Targus.
Targus. Couldn't remember.
I couldn't take it serious. Her name is Targus. I'm like, get out of here. Then they started talking about. So there's a plot device they introduce early on, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it, and you will be so freaking confused. Mm-hmm. It is the vagina pain trance. And so your character plays you're embodying an alien form that is able to absorb it's able to isolate, essentially isolate a part of their motor skills, and able to function even if their conscious is out of whack, even if their conscious is gone.
That's because you're a vagina. That's why.
Because you're a vagina. Because it's important, because the Borg can take over your mind, and so you would stop being capable of playing the game if you were Borgified. I don't want to give away too much of the story, but let's just say all of that stuff has a place in the story. I would usually not worry about spoiling a story that is from 1996, but I'm going to try not to spoil too much because this is very very easily completed and just watched if you go to what's the address where you go to play this. So if you're listening, you're like, oh, this sounds pretty
where
cool.
is that? It's in here.
It's borgremastered.com. And it's got like an LCARS interface where you got all the little, you've seen the next generation stuff where you go beep beep push the little buttons, but it's got like all this interface around stuff, and it's all the modern conveniences of pausing and playing the game, restarting the game, chapter selections, cheats, not cheats, but
it's all web based, so you can just
all web-based. You can play it on your phone. You can play it on wherever you want to. And most importantly, you don't have to worry too much about how, if you're being pure to the original form, because there's a CD version that gives you the original ugly-looking CD video, or you can go into the settings. You can always upscale all the way to, I don't think it's 4K. It's like the 2K, but they call it 4K.
Yeah, it's like 1440p or whatever. Yeah.
But that goes to but if you're doing that goes to Scott's point about the plasticness of it, because they probably had to use some. This was 4 years ago, so I doubt they were using like modern generative AI models and stuff. They were probably just using.
It was
already
still
some AI stuff.
Yeah, there was still stuff then, but it wasn't.
Today.
It's not as fancy as we have.
Yeah,
now. The stuff we have now is kind of hard to tell the difference, but.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm going to show you my least favorite thing. Can I show you my least favorite thing?
Oh, my, please, yes.
Moment. This made me cringe so hard. I'm going to play it, do the audio and everything. This is from the game where you and your compatriots have to make kind of a pact that you'll always work together. All right?
Everybody has a alien disorder or function that allows the story to progress. So this is hers, right? Yeah.
But you'll see what this is. This is the worst thing ever. And it's all three of them. So watch this.
Yeah.
We could end up as Borg, and I know the last thing I want to have happen to me is to be assimilated into the collective.
We won't let it happen to any of us. Better dead than Borg.
Better dead than Borg. Yeah, that is so cool, though.
No, it's not. It's stupid.
That's so cool. Look at that.
Listeners at home, they lock their arms in some kind of weird shape as if it's like some blood ritual. Effing stupid.
That's awesome, though, because you had already saved all of them. They've already established that the security officer had saved each and every one of them. They had been through crazy stuff, and you were stepping into that relationship. And you're right, it was stupid. But I also was like,
it's not even his body. It's like this is just a lie right here. What they're doing.
It is. It is. But it's kind of like when I watch Rocky movies. It's like, oh, that is so freaking stupid. Then why am I jumping up right now? Why am I jumping up right now and cheering? It's so stupid.
They did it twice. They did the interlocking arm thing twice. They did do it twice. Yeah.
They did do it twice.
And also the game, I think, bogs down a little bit in the Borg basement. And there's just a lot of time spent what is essentially just a part of the ship that's taken over by the Borg. And so there's already multiple little, the Borg charging stations and Borg hole, bunch of stuff like that going on. And at that point, John de Lancie decides to go full costume.
Oh, you're talking about when they teleport over to the Borg cube itself.
Oh, that part. I forgot about that. Yeah. There's a whole bit there where it's just a lot of this right here. Like we're used to this from the movies and the TV show and stuff, but it's basically like, oh, Borgs. There's Borgs in here.
Every time I just
because there's space zombies. That's the story.
Yeah, there's space zombies, and every time you get on one of their little cubes, and I'm like, and it's just like, I don't care for it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. Good. This isn't my favorite part of the game, but it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, and you got to decide here. So the Q kind of gives you this. He's constantly dicking with you, first of all, because that's what Q does. He's like, you do have choices. Why? Then he'll say, you got to make this choice, and then you do it. He said, why would you do that? You're supposed to make your own choices. Yeah. And then sometimes in the game, it's like, if you make a choice, that's the wrong choice. Sometimes to win the game, you don't play the game. And so you just kind of, it is definitely meant to make you fail all the way through. And that's to make the game fun. And I've never had so much fun failing. I've never had more fun failing and being berated by de Lancie right there in my face. Him popping up out of corners.
Oh,
like,
yeah, no,
in
it's
your
constant.
vision.
I wanted to go through the whole
So
thing and do it. I
hilarious.
wanted to do a mash or a super mash of every time he did it. Because I think that would be freaking hilarious. Somebody with more time than me, go do that. That'd be great.
But you get a couple of really cool mechanics here. You get like a little. He's got his own little data recorder thing that's got all the stuff in it that you need to know, and it's just basically a slimmed down version of something they included in the 3 CD-ROM set, which is the Picard dossier, which I did load up.
Did you say Picard? Is that how you said it?
Picard dossier. That's what it sounds like she says when she says it. But it's all what's her face. She narrates all of it. She's the computer.
Majel Barrett.
Majel Barrett. She does the little computer voice there, and you pop in, and you can read all about the Borg if you didn't know, which was really kind of helpful. I mean, because this is 1996, and you may not had a lot of great access to Star Trek lore online, right? So it allows you to get into Picard's
They got to
dossier.
dig in a bit more.
Yeah.
I like
Dig in
that
a
too.
little bit.
By the way, this guy right here in the center, biggest actor of this whole joint.
I
at the
I
time
love
he
him.
hadn't, but he's in tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can give you an idea.
And he's outstanding. He is the counselor of this ship, and I wanted to see more.
Yeah, he would have been
because everybody on this ship is effed up in the head. All right, they have character flaws right there on the surface.
So
really
John
quick.
Cothran is his name. He's in freaking Black Snake Moan, Yes Man, Boys in the
that's
Hood,
right.
Rango, Lincoln Lawyer, bunch of TV stuff. Recently 911 episodes, then NCIS stuff. Like the guy's everywhere. The lady, I thought she was really good in this.
Yeah.
She's
the one with the nodule. You're talking about Targus, right?
Yeah, and her name is Marnie McPhail. That's a bad name.
Right. It's not bad. This is a great name.
I think
What are you talking about?
McPhail can get you in trouble. I'm just saying.
You could, but that's a great name.
If you fail, it's a terrible name.
Yeah.
She's in hardly anything you've ever heard of. She was in an episode of Orphan Black Echoes and The Way Home. And then outside of that, tons of work. None of it you've heard of. Just a bunch of stuff.
Most of these people were at least actors, though, right? Because we've seen, up until this point, we've seen our fair share of FMV with not actors. At least all of these were probably real actors. How much they were working at the time, we could talk about that. But they were all real actors.
They're all actors.
Of them had, they all had jobs with typically in some form or fashion in some type of Star Trek adjacent thing.
Yeah.
So
in this case, Jeff Aylan, who played the dad in the past, he is in actual Star Trek. He's in Voyager as a character called Gedrin. He's in he was in NYPD Blue, the movie K9. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we need to watch that.
He got around. He did some stuff, although he hasn't worked since 2015. So he's probably just, I don't know, chilling.
Just hanging out.
Born in 52. He's probably old enough. Figured he
probably rolling
retire.
around in that Star Trek Borg money. I'm sure you got a good contract on some residuals on that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I got to think some of that went through pretty well for him. But yeah, there's just some interesting stuff because there are times where I'm like, this is as good as the show was. And then there are times where I'm like, oh, they had to cut a corner to make this a video game. Ooh, boy.
I felt like it was a big ask. Okay, so I don't know if you remember every time a new Star Trek would come along when we were growing up, TNG was already a big deal. It's like, oh, what? We're going to where is Shatner at? You're not bringing Shatner back? Mm-hmm. And then we got used to that, and we loved TNG. And then then the next one came along, and it's like, oh man, what are we doing here? What are we gonna
Deep Space
get
Nine?
lost? Yeah, we're gonna get we're not gonna go anywhere. We're just gonna sit and wait for the wormhole to give us. This is not Trek. It's like, who are these people? I don't like none of these people.
Yeah, it turned out to be awesome.
After the first season, you're like, I love all of these people, and they were kind of doing that. They were doing it pretty good here as well. I felt like I liked this crew. Even though it's a very small crew, because it's the scale of it. This is the way it is. You only got one show to one little 120 minutes worth of dancing around Q to get it done.
Jerry in the chat says the Jeffries tubes are the Borg server closets. That's funny.
The Jeffries tubes are pretty great, even though it felt very forced. There is you can't have a Star Trek FMV movie and not have your person go into the Jeffries tubes. I mean, you want to do some console operating. You want to get in the turbo lift. Mm-hmm. You want to get teleported somewhere.
Get probably into maybe the tubes, man. Get in the tubes.
You got to get into the tubes. You got to get into the tubes, and it feels very cheaty because it just feels like a closet.
Yeah.
You do have a Borg that keeps stepping out of one of the Jeffries tubes because you're searching for him. It's like, I know he's here somewhere. We got a Borg infestation.
I also loved. I think the Borg makeup looked pretty good. I'm obviously they're using uniforms that are already existing and stuff, but their makeup was good. It was as good as the First Contact movie did. I thought.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and First Contact was being filmed at this exact time. So I don't know how much of any of this was shared with them, but that's interesting because the First Contact movie really did settle on the whole Locutus of Borg thing as well, or at least a resolution to it. And
it is happening. Locutus is supposed to be there. You don't ever see him. You never see anybody but Q from our Star Trek proper. But yeah, John Luke is being Locutus'd up.
Yep. They only bring Picard up twice. Once referring to him as the Locutus name, and then the other time is where's Picard's, like the dossier thing or the whatever it was.
Yeah.
They referred to him. So they kind of avoided talking about a lot of characters outside of Q. And the two mentions of Picard, and I don't know if that's a thing where if you mention Deanna Troi too often, what's her name gets money. I don't know how that works.
Right, you reach a threshold, and suddenly you're paying out money.
Yeah,
right?
That's how it felt.
Yeah,
I could be totally wrong on how that. I have no idea.
I wouldn't think so because I think they had the ownership of the character, but only the likeness if the actor was to be involved,
or their voice, or
yeah. Like I think you can get away.
Would you have liked to have seen any other characters in this, or do you think having Q alone was the way to go?
When I started, I was like, "Oh man, we're just gonna deal with Q." And by the time I got through, I was like, "I'm so glad nobody else showed up and wrecked this."
Yeah, I mean, having Majel Barrett do the computer is a smart idea because that's consistent with Starfleet computers, right?
I seen the acting as being okay because de Lancie always overacts, but if you brought in Picard and if I saw 3 minutes of Picard eating scenery and then I have to go back to eating my peanut butter sandwich, I'm going to be annoyed. So
I tend to agree. Yeah. I think if you'd have had Patrick Stewart walk on set, you're asking for trouble unless you do it as like a big ending, or it's like we're all back, the whole team's back together and Picard banishes Q for the next 4 episodes or whatever he used to do. Like those are things you could do. But I'm kind of glad they kept it isolated like that. I thought I was going to be like, at least have, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Chief
Worf?
O'Brien. Like have Chief O'Brien show up.
Yeah.
Because he seems like a nice, cheap, easy. Now I know he's not part of the ship that was destroyed during the Wolf thing and all that. I understand that. But characters like that would have maybe added a little bit to it.
Yeah. What was he doing? Deep Space Nine? What was he doing? Come on.
He was doing DS9 by then, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? 96. We're 2 years after the end of TNG at that point. So we're 2 seasons into DS9. And I think they were just ramping up production on Voyager.
And we're totally going to get all this wrong, but that's okay.
I think that's right. I dare anyone to come at me. I think I got that right.
We're big fans of Star Trek, but we're not insane. So if we get it wrong, they just accept it.
Yeah.
We still love Star Trek. There's no question about it.
Or email us. We don't care.
Yeah, email it. It's fine. You can. I'm sure. So like I said, when I was playing the game, I had people dropping in I've never really seen before on my streams, and they were telling me stuff like, "Oh yeah, that communicator would have never been worn on the top of this and that. Oh, and look, see that little that burn mark? That was from the episode where they blew everything up." And I'm like, "All right."
Yeah.
I know the big story points, right? I know the big story points. I love them. I've watched them a bunch of times, but I've never dug into the lore and got, I've never had a Star Trek TNG big book of knowledge or nothing other than the Picard dossier. But
damn.
What?
Picard dossier.
Oh,
I hate
I'll
the
tell
word.
you
Can I
also-
just say, no offense to the French.
Dossier? Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate the word dossier.
It's fine.
I hear it in a lot of movies. Spy movies will come up. It's like, we got to get a hold of the dossier. It's like,
dossier.
why don't you just say the freaking manila folder full of paper? Dossier.
Oh, they're really Frenching it up. Why don't you just open your mouth and kiss me with mouth while you're at it?
Yeah, I
A
don't
bunch
like
of
it.
Frenchies.
I don't like it. Not a fan. Just annoys me. But go ahead.
This game is great because it was Windows 95 primarily. A modest Pentium processor would have played this just fine. The videos are large enough to be entertaining and visible without tearing your machine up. But I did like the fact that Q was not having it. So if you like at the very beginning of the game, you could end this game in like 2 minutes. Once you get, that's not true. You got to get through some opening cutscene. You got to get through an opening scene where you got to go to a meeting. Any game that starts with a meeting can't be all that great. But if Q asks you, do you want to go on an adventure or do you want to go home, essentially? And you can choose go home, and Q will say, all right, and the game just closes.
Yeah.
It is such a...
He's a troll. He's an
He's
an
such a
intergalactic troll, so why not?
Yeah.
You know?
So cute. But you could do that. So and if you can't figure a puzzle, out, he will get bored and just close the game.
Yeah, you'll be out. You got to start
out.
your last. How did the saves work in the old one? Because the new one you could do whatever.
It's progression based. So like when you finish, there's checkpoints essentially. So you would, if you're playing alone, you can also save it too. Like you can just pull up a save point, but on the remaster you don't have to worry about none of that because you just jump through chapters and stuff.
Yeah,
it
makes it real easy. Whoever made that, though, I got to give him a shout out because it's a love letter, man. They really went all out on it. They clearly love that game, like obviously, or they wouldn't have done this.
I am such a huge fan of this person. Let me see if they actually says on the website who did this. And this LCARS interface is just, I love and hate it all at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I hate it, but I love, like, okay, let me put it this way. As far as fake TV and movie OSs go, it's the all-time greatest. But its usability, if you really had to use the LCARS interface, we'd all want to kill ourselves.
And is it called LCARS? Have you ever heard anyone actually say it out loud? I've read it a million times.
It is LCARS, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. Let's see.
Is it LCARS?
It better not be. If it is, I'll be mad.
I've never heard anyone say it out loud, but I think it's LCARS.
Here it is. How to pronounce LCARS. Let's see. English pronunciation. Is there a way to play it? No, I want to hear it. I don't want to see it.
I want to hear you do it.
All right, let me try this again. Okay, the dictionary here. Well, they don't have it. Okay. This might be a weird one that's hard to like find audio. Let's see. No. LCARS. Nope.
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 Not even close.
I can't spell. Nope. LCARS. Yeah, I can't find it, but I think it's short for something. Like lymphatic, cardiovascular, anal,
cardiovascular. Anyway, this person, I don't see it, so modest. Where I can't even find this person's freaking name on this site. Anyway, my first place that I stopped for whenever I do these video games is always go to myabandonedware.com. Now, you got to know your local laws about how software is, availability and whether or not you should get it and do whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. It's a great resource for jumping off. And so if it's something I'm not sure of, I'm like, I don't know if they would have this anywhere. And I'll start there and it'll tell me if I can purchase it on Steam or if I can purchase it on Good Old Games or wherever. It will tell me the first thing that says, hey, this thing is not abandonedware. Go buy it from here. And I do that. If that fails, there's sometimes, there's usually pointing to community projects. And that's how I found this community project. But it also pointed me to some archives of the original disc and stuff. And I tried loading it up that way in a emulator. I had a lot of interfacing problems. And I ran into a problem that is common. So if you end up trying to do this in a more authentic way, you may find that you may not be able to interface with the game at certain points, in which case it just totally fails. So don't get too frustrated. Head over and do the remaster because it really does. Right in the browser, it allows you to make it look just like it originally did, and it's just got a little quality of lives and stuff. You know me, I always gotta check out the jank first, though. I gotta make sure that I can speak to the jank.
Yeah,
I janked it up.
Yeah,
and it was bad jank.
Yeah, you
don't want it.
You don't want that kind of jank. You don't want bad ship jank. I don't like the name of the ship either. I don't like the Righteous?
Oh, the Righteous. Yes, the
like
Righteous.
that.
Yeah, because it's kind of very braggadocious, right? ODVS. I'm not sure if this person it only wanted to put that part of their name out there for this, but ODVS is the credit here apparently for contacting this individual. So there you go.
Well, we've learned a little something. Now tell me this.
Yeah.
Star Trek Klingon follow up, kind of. Right?
No, it was actually before. They're independent of each other.
Same year though, right?
Right.
Okay.
And also Simon and Schuster, but they were two different stories that did not interconnect. And this was Frakes. So Jonathan Frakes did direct this one according to the credits.
And you got some Klingons.
You got some Klingons, but it's still the same. It's the same idea. It's a fully interactive movie where you make choices, and why he's got a crystal ding dong. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. And now we're looking at a lightsaber. I don't know what's going on.
Look, it's floating from the Force. Look at that. Wow.
Anyway.
I never played this one either. Is it not as well liked or whatever?
I really feel like, I think out of the two, I think this one's a little more inaccessible unless you're a huge Klingon fan. So I like Klingons and I appreciate everything, but I don't speak Klingon. I haven't went down that rabbit hole, even though I'm sure some people have.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm without honor, whatever. The point is, I think it's a little more inaccessible in my opinion.
Okay.
It's fun though. It looks like a lot of fun, and it's one I want to visit. And maybe for next February's full motion video February, we'll finally get a chance to dig deeper into this. But
yeah, we could take a deeper look, see if it's any good. It looks like it didn't review as well, but that, again, it could be preference. Like, well, that's a lot of Klingon shit, and I'm not into it. Michael Dorn was a voice in it. He didn't do any acting or any on screen, but he voiced something. So you got a little Worf, and then the guy who I talked about earlier, John Cothran, back in this thing as a Klingon this time. So
yeah, why not?
That's cool. I'm into it.
That is way cool.
Kind of makes me want to check it out because I'm big on the Klingon stuff. I like it.
Oh, I love the Klingon stuff. I like watching the Klingon stuff. I don't like diving deep into I want to play as a Klingon. I'm not into that.
No, you ain't gonna do that.
That's not me. But I know a lot of people love it. It's their jam, man. It's like, I'm going to talk like a Klingon. Well, awesome. I'm more of a Starfleet guy. I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go cheat on a test. Yeah.
I would have nerded about this in '96 if I'd have known about either of these games. I didn't know about them for whatever reason. It just wasn't in my radar, and I was so into Star Trek at the time that I think I would have just eaten this like Thanksgiving, dude. I would have been like, nom, nom.
I definitely was. The criticisms primarily for this time period was what all of our criticisms were, is that we don't know how to receive this because it's not really a game, right? Yeah. I mean, up until this point, we had, either simple game mechanics or just the game mechanics themselves were the complete game. You had some stories and stuff, and you had some that did really good at telling stories, but that was not your primary focus typically. And so this flipped that and was like, what if it was all story with a few clicky bits? And you kind of go, oh no.
That's honestly, I think that's the death of FMV. There was never enough game to these. And I mean all of them. And I'm including this one. The game part is throwaway and secondary, where you could have seen FMV thrive and might yet still see this. It's one of the innovations with AI that might actually work. But having more complex things to do that directly affect the story that aren't perfectly preset. and I don't mean go film 100 scenes of the outcome,
but you'd have to, right?
You might have to. I mean, it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing is the whole idea in the first place. But you only really have so many choices. You don't really have full autonomy in this world. And I would think you could maybe, well, they've tried this. Netflix tried it with that Bandersnatch deal, and it failed. Nobody watched it, and they've already taken it off. Like, I think we're probably done with trying to make FMV a thing again.
I think our brains operate in two different modes anyway, because it's like I'm solving problems. I'm using this part of my brain versus I'm now watching a scene and asking someone to go between problem solving and then sitting and watching 15 minutes worth of video and then going, it's time to get up.
Well, and I think the difference is part of the difference is because there's plenty of games that feature a story cutscene. Let's say we're playing a Nathan Drake game or whatever, and we see a bunch of cutscene, Nathan Drake doing cool stuff, having dialogue, whatever. And now it's our job to steer the car, to run it over the thing, to jump over the bridge. We have that form of this, but for whatever reason, the in-world graphical control of the same people who are talking in between is a much better ask for gamers than here is some real video of a thing that is pre-recorded and doesn't alter. This is what he says, and you can play this game 5 million times. He'll never say anything different. But in a Nathan Drake game, I can kill the guy first and then drive. I can drive, then kill the guy. I can run the guy over. I can jump off the cliff and find out what it means to die and then start again at the save. Like, there's all these things to do. Which you still have points that are locked, but for the most part, you have freedom. And I don't think FMV, the F wasn't for freedom. That's what I'm saying.
I knew it was coming. The F is not for freedom. It's for full.
Yeah. Did you feel that coming?
I did
the
feel
freedom
that
thing.
Well, I felt it coming, but I was going to be disappointed if you didn't say it. Honestly, I was like, at first you did. I was like, he's not going to say it. He's going to leave that on the table. Yeah. And I was like, is he going to come back and pick that up? Here, it came back. Got it.
Yeah, no. And Stigma in the chat has a good point. FMV games seem like they would be good for VR. I agree with this. And there were some attempts to do this. I don't know how good they ended up being, but when you are in a room with the virtual people, even when they're video generated, and you have some interactivity where you can go, all right, well, while he's talking, I'm going to sneak around the back and see if I can see if there's a gun under that thing or whatever. VR has opportunities like that. The problem is VR is having the same problem as FMV, which is not enough adoption. And no one's quite sure yet if it's a critical, what's the word? If it's a killer app or not. We're not there.
Right.
Still not there. We've been trying for 12 years with VR, and we still don't know where we're at. So I don't know. I don't know what the future of FMV is. I'm glad that it's a thing though, because it's fun to talk about on here. You know,
if you were to do a VR version, and the only way you could progress was to form that weird triangle grip hold, would you do it?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
You're not going to do the grip hold. You're just
I hate the grip hold. I really hated it.
You're going to turn the gate. So you didn't like the Triforce?
What is it about the Triforce grip hold that I didn't like? Let me think about it. Part of it is that I don't know what it is. Part of it is that nobody does this. That's what it is.
They're trying too hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like they're trying too hard.
Trying way too hard and failing.
Yeah, they're trying to make fetch a thing, and Scott's not happy.
Listen, they're McTrying and they're McFailing. Sorry, lady.
Sorry, lady. Whose name?
Your name is fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's your look at Borg, Star Trek Borg. Now let's play a game that we made up. All right. Let's freak these people out with a good time.
My gosh.
A good time. And I'm not going to forget this time.
This is just a guess. We'll have to verify it ourselves.
All right. We're going to guess each other's game. It's going to be some audio, a platform, and a year. That's all we're going to get. And then we have 4 possible answers in multiple choice that we'll each get a chance to do. I'm going to start this week with mine. Chat is all ready to. They probably already have said it. Borg lifter. There you go.
Borg lifter.
Fantastic, Zoe. Fantastic work. There may not be any others. That's as good as the choplifter reference is going to get today. But here's mine. This is a game from 1996, same year. Okay.
Yeah, same year.
1996 on PC.
Okay, same software, same platform.
And I'm going to give you one other extra hint this week, which is this is also an FMV game. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so are all these on my list, but I'll play this and we'll see if we can figure it out. Here you go.
Gene told me about harmonica and the peg. Things just keep getting worse. An ex-agency man uses an agency weapon to assassinate a Russian political figure. Even I wouldn't believe that we had nothing to do with it. Harmonica couldn't have stolen one of our pegs without help from the inside. It is one of our most secret programs.
Programs.
Program.
All right. Here are your options.
It's not called harmonica?
No, it's not.
All right.
It's called vagina. A.
Vagina lifter.
Oh, man. A. Spycraft, The Great Escape. B. World Domination, Inside Man. C. Psychic Detective. Or D. Bad Day on the Midway.
So he's talking a lot about agencies and agents and that kind of stuff. So that definitely makes me feel more like a spycraft or world domination, inside man, psychic detective. That seems far-fetched. Also, it sounds like an awesome thing to do. D, Bad Day on the Midway? Like
Actual games, by the way.
Okay. See, C and D do not have, since I have no frame of reference other than this FMV and what the dialogue you've played.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like C or D have any type of connectivity to the subject matter, and I could be totally wrong. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Spycraft.
You're gonna say Spycraft, the great game?
Yeah.
right.
Hey, I'm going with A.
I like your deduction. Let's see if it's right. Almost like a puzzle in a FMV game. You figure
I'm no psychic. I'm no psychic detective.
Let's see if it's real. It is. You did it.
Oh, look at you. Look
Congratulations.
at me.
It's full of actors you know as well, by the way. Let's see if I can pull. I had some video earlier. Let's see. Yeah. Let's take a look at this here. The fact is these two guys talking. It's them right there.
These two guys talking right here.
To assassinate a Russian political figure.
Yeah, look at that guy. We know him.
That we had nothing
Yeah,
to do with
I think I've actually seen this one before.
Yeah, you might have. It's basically like a lot of like deduction stuff. It had more game than usual.
I might have been looking at this for some more FMV gaming.
You might have, yeah.
Real familiar, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it that's a little bit more like an actual video game and less interactive video.
Was this?
Right?
And this was PC, okay.
PC, yeah.
Kind of cool.
Same year though. Big year for FMV. It turns out.
Look at
a lot.
that interface. That so looks like we're still using the Windows 3.1 interface in the background. Good luck.
Just, hold on. I thought Bad Day on the Midway was the subtitle for a Sam and Max game. I mean, I love Sam and Max, so I'd
we
go with you.
got to do a Sam and Max. We haven't done a Sam and Max yet for the Play Retro show. We need to do.
I'd be down to clown.
I'd be down with that.
All right, Brian, you're ahead. Let's see how I do with your pick. What do you got?
All right, so it's the I didn't go with full motion. I almost went with full motion, but it's just so difficult. So I ended up just going with the N64, and the year was 1999.
All right, here's your audio. Spycraft. Just kidding.
Spycraft, right?
This sounds really familiar to me. I may have owned this. All right, tell me my answers.
Oh, I owned it. Yeah. Did you own it?
Well, I will own it after I hopefully win.
Here we go. All right. Yeah. Is it A, Nuclear Strike, B, Win-Back Covert Operations, C, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, or D, Armorines Project Swarm?
Gonna jump straight to it. I believe I own this game. It is considered the grandfather of third-person cover-based shooters, and I'm gonna say Win-Back Covert Operations.
Very, very specific. Wow. Man, with that confidence, you would almost thought you would have been right. But oh well, the answer is B, Win-Back Covert Operations.
Yeah, baby. You guys remember Win-Back, chat? You guys remember that whole deal? That was it was like Gears of War. The Gears of War devs were like, yeah, we got our idea from Win-Back. That's how influential it was. But not a lot of people played it. I did because my friends and I were like, hold on. You hide behind shit and then pop up and shoot people? Let's do that. Mm-hmm. And Tondagos is right. Lots of hiding behind boxes and stuff, 100%. It was a cover-based shooter, And as far as I know, the first of its kind. I don't know any other game that had that kind of cover stuff where you kind of lock behind a thing and then, pop up above it and shoot a little bit, maybe even do some cover fire like they did in Gears. I think it was the first like that.
It is an upcoming episode of Play Retro for sure.
Yeah, at some point we'll talk about that one.
Yeah.
Well done. We both got a point.
Look at us.
Points for everyone.
Points for all, including Tolbert and who else named it? Tolbert, Zoe, what do they call it? Borg Lifter. You guys did great.
Borg Lifter.
Yeah, it was a success.
Indeed.
Smack time.
Whoops, that wasn't supposed to play. Let's welcome to Retro, a brand new 20-year-old product, Toka Race Driver 3 for Windows, PlayStation 2, Xbox. Came out in 2006, February 21st of that month or that year. The Toka Racing Caesars series, pizza, returned for a third go with numerous improvements over its predecessors. I never played any of the TOCA series at all.
Nope. I'm the same thing, and I would love to get into it because, man, do I love me some racing games. And if you've made three parts, I mean,
were they good though? Were they?
It's got to at least be somewhat good. I mean, they made 3 of them at least.
That might be boring though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if it's just like a standard ass racer kind of thing? I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I like a standard ass racer.
Do we have some love out there for the Toka series? Let us know. Maybe we'll cover it. We'll see.
Toka.
I didn't even think of the toga thing. Anyway, welcome to Retro. You're 20 years old. Congratulations. You'll be able to drink in a year. Let's get to some listener feedback. That's right. You guys send in your comments, your questions, your thoughts. You do it through various ways. These are all texts sent to us at frogpants.com/playretro. Find all the ways to connect with us there. Dear Play Retro says Richie Rich.
Oh, Richie Rich.
Yeah. Little cartoon kid with money. You know?
Yeah. His name was spelt with dollar signs, right? Or cent signs.
Plus, wasn't he all in bed with Casper or something? There was some crossover there. Or was he Casper?
That was the urban legend.
Is that he was the ghost of Casper is Richie Rich's ghost?
Yeah, because they were illustrated. I think they're the same. They're basically drawn the same, essentially. But I think it came from the same
similar studio. Yeah, I think you're right. That's funny.
Yeah,
I thought that was just me that saw that. I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Yep.
Weird. Oh, Harvey Comics, is that who did that? Publish those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence the Harvey love, I believe, from Richie Rich.
Harvey's not around. Harvey Comics isn't around anymore, right? It's done. Defunct or got absorbed by.
I would have thought it got picked up by DC or Marvel or something, but I don't know. Let's see what happened. Because that's what happens a lot of the time. It seems like they just kind of go, "We have your properties, and now we're going to make something with them."
Oh yeah, it definitely says was. It is currently folded into the Harvey Entertainment Company. And they're now some sort of conglomerate production arm of comic publisher. Okay. Still around, it says. But that's weird.
Interesting. There you go.
85 years ago today, that company was founded. Wild.
Good job.
That's old. Anyway, let's read this. It says, Dear Play Retro, if you're looking for a fun little platformer, check out Wendy Every Which Way for the Game Boy Color. It's based on Wendy the Good Witch from Harvey Comics, funny enough.
Yeah.
Which is why he's calling himself Richie Rich, clearly.
Right.
None of this occurred to me the first time I read through it. I was like, wait, he's Richie Rich, ha ha ha. And then I read the rest and I didn't connect the two. It says it's a short platformer developed by Way Forward. The main mechanic in the game is that you can use magic to reverse gravity, including enemies. If you are partially exploring levels on the ceiling. Check it out if you haven't already played it. Thanks, and keep up the great shows. Thanks, Richie. I never saw it. Is it? How old is this? What's the age?
I know about the character, but I've never seen this Game Boy Color game. Interesting. Wendy Every Which Way from 2001, and it is the Game Boy Color. No, this looks pretty sweet. I like it.
Interesting.
This looks good.
All right. Well, there you
Thanks,
go.
Richie Rich.
A game to check out. Thank you, Richie. If that is indeed your real name.
Oh my God! What butthole is this on eBay who has graded their copy of Wendy and they want $9,999? Get out of my face!
When people do that, I don't believe anything they say. That's horseshit. They're just trying to. It's like mobile games having a $1,000 option and the kid accidentally clicking it.
Okay, so
best value.
Yeah, this was pretty hard to get.
Is it
interesting? Yeah,
right.
It's at least $100 for most of them. So.
Oh, you know what? I think one of my kids may have had this. That's familiar.
And you just threw away $120.
Yeah. Well, 9,000.
Plus 3 levels to claim on the Game Boy Advance. Look at that.
Not bad. All right.
Not bad at all.
Wait, Game Boy Advance, really?
That was what it said on the cover you just showed. Is that what it said?
No, you're right. It says plus 3 levels exclusively for Game Boy Advance. Does that mean there was a GBA version of the game?
Well, I mean, you could probably stick in the GBA and it probably had a color palette and all that good stuff.
Oh, maybe. But that's weird that you would...
Advanced.
Did we play that last week where the...
what?
Oh, I got to play this. I don't think I played it for you yet. So the CEO of Toys R Us did not know how to say the thing of the point of that video I sent you about the Game Boy and all that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? The training video?
Yeah.
Listen to what he says.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. If I can find it. Yeah. This is a guy, he's the CEO of a mega billion-dollar toy company, which, now they're not. But at the time, they were massive. And this is what he said. The one guy who is in charge of everything. Nobody gets paid without this guy. He's the talks to the shareholders. He probably should know how to say stuff. All right?
Yeah.
Here's what he said.
Now that you've learned a little bit about the iron magic of informing guests about the product features and benefits, let's see the rest of magic put into action.
That's not it.
I do like it.
I thought that was it. Hold on. Oh, here it is. My bad.
We just saw a fantastic example of a world leader using the magic of selling to assist our guests. Now it's up to you to make what we just saw a reality in every Toys R Us location on June 13th when Game Boy Advanced is released.
It's not Game Boy Advanced. It's Advance. I want to just jump through time and strangle that guy.
I want Q to come pick me up, take me back through time.
Let me fix this.
let me fail like 100 times and then win, right?
Oh my gosh. It's Advance. You big dumb billionaires. So
it is Advance.
All right.
I will say though, that's what you get for naming your stupid thing. It Advance.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the same with Advance Auto.
He probably would have said Advance Wars 1 and 2. Or he would have said Advanced Wars 1 and 2, which it is not.
Yeah.
It's Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Jerry's saying to be fair, what?
To be fair.
No, there's no fairness in this.
Don't do it.
There's no fairness in this, Jerry. None.
No.
Hi, chaps, says Rob. I came across an incredibly strange game called Weird Dreams recently. That describes itself on Steam as a world full of nightmares with Dali-esque monsters like Salvador Dali. And mind-eating eyes. The whole thing looks crazy. I wonder if either of you have heard of it or played it. So I've not heard of this that I know of. Let's pull it up.
I feel like when they said it, I felt like I remember this, but let me see. Maybe I don't. Let me see.
It's an old game or newish or what?
I thought it was a newish game. Like
$7
or something.
Yeah, 2024.
Because I'm always like, I think it might have hit me up whenever because I like all these little horror games. I think
it's a 2024 game, so it's been a couple years, but it looks like it's going hard into the aesthetic though. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Yeah, this is my wish list.
It's only $7.
Yeah, not bad.
I don't know what to make of
Hot
this.
30p. I like it.
It only ever got 8 reviews. That always makes me sad.
Yeah. Best ever games company. Oh, it's published by Atari. Maybe that's probably a reason why I know. Atari sends me a butt ton of crap constantly about, hey, I got another game. Hey, you bought something from us that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember that time?
This is probably where I saw it. Yeah. This is probably where I saw it. Yeah. I love it.
Oh, they're currently publishing Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic.
Yeah.
We probably talked about that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, we talked about on our episode of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
They published Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Jeez, what a weird thing to publish.
Mm-hmm.
That also got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
People didn't like that. It's still mixed. That's a bummer.
Yeah, that Bubsy 4D. We still haven't covered it.
Well, thanks, Rob. We have not played the game you mentioned, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll play that. I play a lot of weird shit. So there you have it. Our next game and or discussion will be, it will be. I don't know why I said or. Echo the Dolphin. That's right. Yep. Genesis, Sega CD. We're gonna wax our dolphins. I'm pretty excited.
Man, that was such a thing at the time. I mean, they marketed the crap out of Echo the Dolphin back in the day.
There's a new one coming. They're making a brand new Echo the Dolphin. Perfect time to talk about it and see if it really holds up or not. It was one of the most beautiful games on the Genesis and Sega CD that they ever made. Yeah. And one of the coolest soundtracks, especially on the Sega CD. Still listenable. Really, really good soundtrack. And just a vibe. That game was a vibe. And there were some spin outs and some other weird stuff around it. We're going to talk about all that stuff. Getting back to our Sega roots, getting back on the Genesis next week. Can't wait. Gonna be fun.
And I could have swore we'd done this, and I've done an exhaustive search in our notes, and I have yet to see it anywhere.
We didn't talk about it.
We've talked about it before, but we've never done a full episode.
The whole episode was we've yet to do a full episode about. We better not have, or I'm going to feel real dumb.
I'm going to feel real dumb too, because I mean we've talked about Echo the Dolphin a million times, but. Yeah,
no Echo. I don't see it anywhere in the RSS.
Nothing.
Whew. Feel better now. That would have been very embarrassing.
Well, we've talked about doing it a bunch of times.
But look at all these games we've done.
Yeah, so many.
Like
207 episodes.
I remember doing The Lion King. I remember doing Syndicate. I remember Frogger. Kirby, a Strike series. I remember all those things, but don't remember Echo. No. Anyway, Echo the Dolphin coming up next week.
If we do it twice, we'll just say Echo, Echo,
Echo, Echo, Dolphin,
Echo.
Beep, boop, beep. But anyway, that'll be what we do next week. Oh, a couple of quick mentions here. We got 3 new patrons this week, and I want to give them all a shout out because they're just special boys.
Oh, can we do the Triforce thing with them?
No.
Like the Triforce grip?
Let's pretend this is them right here. All right. Here they are. That's them.
Here's our 3 new all from doing the Triforce grip.
Yeah, doing the Triforce grip, which everybody should never do. There's no way this is real. So this is patreon.com/playretro. Number 1, Turd Wanker. I don't think that's his real name, his legitimate name. But anyway, whatever.
Vagina.
Yeah, it could be. Stuffy Puff and Philly Codehound. Now I know he's a real dude. We like him.
Oh yeah, Philly's always.
These other 2 names I've never heard of these guys. So whoever you are, thank you for being part of the show in a bigger way. No commercials or ads of any kind. Pre-show every week. Bonus benefits, including weekly watch retros. We've done them 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. 2, 3, 2, 3,
2, 3.
Can't remember.
4.
Where we watch old animated stuff, and then we put it up on the Patreon after we're done. And man, it's fun.
We watched that crazy Turbo Teen, and what was the opener that we did? We did RoboCop, right?
RoboCop. Yep, season 1, episode 1 of RoboCop. And who knows what next week will be? We also do these little shorts in between stuff. Super fun.
That Sunshine Maker thing was weird from Borden, the dairy company.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was almost. I don't know. I felt like I was getting
brainwashed
and gaslit at the same time. It was very weird, but it was fun. And those are up now, up on the Patreon feed. So enjoy those and other cool benefits. Join us now, patreon.com/playretro. I think that's it. That's everything else. That's all. A quick note about our YouTube. Sub up to the YouTube channel. You're sitting there going, man, I sure could go for some video versions of this show. You guys talk about visual stuff sometimes. Where can I get it? Well, here's where you do. YouTube.com/@PlayRetroShow. Or the way YouTube works now, they do ats for everybody. Kind of a weird choice. I don't know why it isn't just /, but whatever. Go just find @PlayRetro on YouTube. You'll find it. Latest podcast, bunch of shorts, fun stuff, including today's episode. So do check that out. Brian, you got anything else before we go?
Yeah, sure do. Bubsy 4D coming out May 22nd, 2026. Am I ready? Probably not.
Not at all. No. I'm not ready for that. I am ready for this, and that is to say, to close the show. We'll see you guys later. Go play something retro, and we'll see you next week.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Borg weapons discharged and vaporized. Vaporized. No trace.
Okay.